Nolan Stoltz here, the composer of the Route 66 Suite for Orchestra, and I'm out on the 1926 to 1929 alignment of Route 66, heading west out of St. James, Missouri, headed towards Dillon, Missouri. Now, a lot of people don't know about this alignment because it's not mentioned in any of the Route 66 books or guides or online maps, websites, and so forth. But it was the original alignment for like 2.5 years or so. Was not paved, and then they built a new road to the north that was paved, and that's the one that most people take when doing Route 66 trips. But this little bit is definitely worth the trip, and you really get the feel of the rural Missouri. You're away from the interstate and so on. And you'll see in this 1928 map, the road heads to the southwest and eventually along the railroad tracks into Dillon. And then I drew in the newer road, the paved one from 1929, and that's the one most people take. But by taking this 1926 to 1929 alignment, I'm hoping to get some inspiration for the AD 1926 movement of the Route 66 Suite, which will become the opening movement of the work. And taking this earlier version will actually get into the town of Dillon as opposed to bypassing it. So I'm hoping to get some inspiration from the town of Dillon as well. I've been looking into the history of Dillon and the area for several months now, turning up some interesting things, but it's still a work in progress. Now, as we pull into Dillon, I want to share this map again and bring to your attention some buildings that are still there and ones that used to be there. According to this map, there was only one building along Route 66, so that's the one on the north side of the road right there. Most of the buildings were on the south side of 66, the south side of the railroad tracks. On the far east end, you see there is a school, and on the far west side, there was a church. School is no longer there, church is no longer there, but the two buildings across the tracks from each other, I believe, are still there. This is the near ghost town of Dillon, or about there was the school. And they're probably the same building that was there in 1926 to 1929. The house seems to be from that era, and it's depicted on every topo map from 1928 since. Here's a shot I took from 66 this summer, and this is another one from directly across the street. And here's a closer look. I've been told the Taylor family lives here, so I'm hoping to learn a little bit more about this house, perhaps the school next door, or about the town itself. This is Route 66, and there's a house there that probably was there in between 1926 and 29. And that would be this building here. I've been told that at one point this was the post office for Dillon. So let's drive west through this near ghost town of Dillon. There's some newer buildings on 66. There's some newer buildings on the south side of the track, so it's not a true ghost town, but it's not what it once was. There's no church, there's no school, no post office, and then there's this building here, built in 1838. Now, this was moved to Rolla sometime in the 1960s, but I'm guessing it was probably one of these buildings on the south side of the tracks here. And here's a look inside the building. See, they've got a pump organ, and then we'll take a look upstairs real quick. Now, they use this building for the circuit court and other official business, but I'm told it was also used for lodging at some point, too. So we'll continue west through Dillon and take a look at the site of the church. So this would have been on the far west side of town, and like most of the other buildings, was on the south side of the railroad tracks. Here's an old plat map of Dillon I saw at the Phelps County Historical Museum. You could sort of see they probably had bigger plans for the town, but as you can see in this map from 1930, Route 66 was moved up to the north and bypassed it. And we'll take 66 until it dead ends, and you have to detour up to the newer 66. And then we'll look back east at this really near ghost town. So, with 66 bypassing Dillon in 1929, it pretty much killed the town. And, that's about it. So, if you're interested in old alignments of Route 66 or ghost towns along Route 66 or really anything relating to the road, subscribe to my Patreon and you can see how all of this is inspiring the music I'm composing. I've got videos, pictures, information, the research. Just subscribe there and support what I'm doing. Thank you.